Why hello there, fellow explorers, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Oxygen Not Included Aquatic. Episode 10, A Suit Dock for the Top Lock. Am I planning to bleed off some of the excess pressure when I hit surface? If it's required, sure. The other thing you could do is to have some sort of liquid lock. And it wouldn't be here, because this can't accommodate for that very easily, but have some sort of liquid lock so that the oxygen that is generated in your coral starnacle beacon loop is kept pressurized and then pumped to like an air tanks or pumped to a room or something, or just kept pressurized locally and then pressurized and released. Because, like, let's say this was tiled up to be airtight, and I put all the oxygen in a gas pump, and then that gas pump then links up to regular gas vents around the base. Gas vents can only be pressurized up to a point, but not an eardrum popping point. And that would be a really good way to keep the pressure of the entire base pretty stable. So there's a lot of different ways to solve that, and I'm not worried about trying to come up with a solution right now, but like there's a lot of very reasonable solutions that don't include just dumping excess oxygen into space. Because you could also just as easily disable the, like, put in a automation atmo sensor, and once the certain amount of atmo is generated in an airtight environment for the hydroponic farms, just disable the irrigation of it and to turn off the flue coral. You know, that's also very easy to do. I can probably think of like half a dozen other ways to solve that problem. And that's I think the beauty of Oxygen Not Included is there's so many different ways to solve problems that you can come up with your own solution. You don't have to use cookie cutter, because like cookie cutters aren't necessary in this case. So the high pressure vents require gasket and refined metal. So let's go ahead and get some more refined metal. If pressure gets high enough, do things explode like walls? No. Well, like, here's a really good example. Where is the super steam? This is massively pressurized steam. Per tile, there's 320 kilograms of steam. Right, it's pretty high pressure, I would say. It's not destroying anything. It's just chilling. Well, okay, it's 300 Fahrenheit, so it's not chilling, but it's just there. And certain tiles can be destroyed, but it's mostly from heat, not pressure. So, like, in magma areas, you might see igneous rock melting into become new magma or something like that. But there isn't, like, a pressure blowouts. Except for your eardrums. That would be the exception. What would happen if I dug into the steam? If it depends where I dug into it, but if I dug into it like through here, it would lose temperature and then condense into water pretty quickly. Because even high dense steam, the total volume of steam here is a small fraction of the total volume of water here. So it would flow out to about here, equalize temperature with its surroundings, meaning I would heat up a huge swath of this like saltwater ocean, and then it would condense into a new layer of water on top of the salt water, and also just raise the ambient temperature of this area by a certain amount. That's pretty much what would happen. So not catastrophic, but annoying. And then whatever dupe that did it, if they weren't wearing a suit, exosuit while doing it, would get like pretty damn scalded or dead doing it, because 300 Fahrenheit or 170 Celsius steam is gonna, or 180 Celsius steam is gonna scald the crap out of you if you're not wearing a suit. So I might end up with a dead dupe too. But, you know, apart from that, all right, Avalka, let's give you construction 2. One of the reasons why I'm pushing towards demolition is this research portal is like in my way if I ever want to significantly expand my power grid, and yeah, that is a very fixable situation if I get deconstruction, because then I can just nuke it. Body temperature low. What is your happy temp? Oh, warm. You like warm. You weren't supposed to, I mean, this isn't the natural environment for the glow squids. Glow squid's natural environment somewhere down here. I just happened to print up an egg and it hatched. But it's a wild critter. I don't really care if it's glum. It's not my problem. One thing I haven't checked in a long time is state change. So state change is whether or not certain tiles are changing rapidly in temperature, which often will signal, wow, my face is crazy, which often will signal warnings of like, this needs to be addressed. So there is a big state change here. Good God. Why is it so hot there? Alright, so that's like boiling hot mud, which is awful, and I hope never to have to go into that biome. And then there's a state change here, but that's just like obviously driven by the steam and brine, as the steam and brine are equalizing temperatures over time. Or the brine is boiling off or something. But none of those state changes have anything to do with my doing. I'm not the cause, so I don't really care. Okay, hazard protection exosuits are done. So exosuits, for those that don't know, are oxygenated suits that are airtight. Think like spacesuits, more or less. They're spacesuits. There is a higher level version of it, which I seldom use, which is the jetpack suits, the jet suits, which then also have propulsion. But this is going to protect you from most hazardous environments, really hot, really cold, unless you're like trying to swim in magma. And for that, we're going to need an exosuit forge to be able to make the suits, and then suit docks here to be able to checkpoint and use them. So a checkpoint like this is essentially saying, if you want to cross this point, you must be wearing a suit. And then you have a bunch of suit docks here with the suits lined up for the checkpoint. What is to say is, I'm going to need a lot of punched zinc. That's not a euphemism. I'm going to need a lot of punched zinc to get this done. And I think the scope of this project right now is set up exosuit top dock. I'm only going to do one because like one's enough. And if you want the other one, you could vote on it again. Because if I do both, that's all I'm working on for the rest of the stream. And then along with that, yeah, that's pretty much the entire project. Now, the station for the exosuit forge is still just a 480 watt. It is not, I don't necessarily need a new line for it. And for now, I'm not going to even create another transformer for it. Because, it's kind of out of scope for what I need to do. So we got a high pressure gas vent down there. And then I'm just setting this area up so that it can be exosuit forge zone. So much junk. A few more refinement cycles and we're there. We're at 380 out of 400. And there's the gas vent for the overflow. Oh, damn it. Oh, there it goes. Cooking, ranching, doctoring again. Why? Stop getting... I like how I can do doctoring. I can't do doctoring. Just decide! Unempathetic is actually a fine malice to have, because it's like, you never do doctoring, but still I find it funny. Give me gum palm seeds, I guess. I don't know. I don't really care. Good lord. Avalka spent all day on that. Most complex thing we built to date, so makes sense. RCV. I think it's time for you to pick up cooking. And to add cooking to our skill set. So, priorities. And if I ever end up getting like a full-time cook, I'll just reshuffle RCV's skills with the skill scrubber. That's fine. Man, the amount of pearls I'm getting is like so slow. 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 58, 85, 85. Okay, we're about to get a windfall of pearls, but it is hella slow. All right, so atmosuits. Now, in order to get an atmosuit, I'm also going to need some sort of fiber. And therein lies the problem. It's like chicken and the egg. So I see there's thimble reeds up here with reed fiber on the ground. And what we're going to want to do is to fetch those by whatever means that we can. And then as soon as we get at least one suit, set up a dock so that we don't have to go back to those potentially inhospitable environments without one. Now, I had previously said maybe getting a vertical column here. And I think that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to create a ladder up this way, and then a ladder down to get the thimble reeds, like this. And the origin of this ladder, we'll just do, whoops, from like here, like this. Additionally, I'm going to cancel this swimwear because it's going to be fundamentally less important than the exosuit. And the other thing I can do is set up the checkpoint and just disable it, and then set up all the suit docks. In preparation for having a suit. Doesn't seahorses eat the pearls? They might have been. The sequine? Yeah, I think they do eat them. That's a good point. Let's kill off the sequine in the area to prevent that. Because I don't really need ovaline at the moment for caviar. And then the other thing is smash sequine eggs. So there's no sequine in here, but there is one there. I guess that one's fine because it's not killing any. So all of the pearls here are not going to be messed with, but these clampums would be messed with. And then you need to go as well. Yeah, thanks for that. I hadn't thought of that. And it just so happens it works out right when RCV is like, you know what? I can make seafood. Alright, dock disabled. Another thing I'm going to want to do is to set up yet another transformer, somehow, to run power up to that spot. I'm going to do it super ugly horribly, and I'll fix it later. So, for all the people that are like losing their mind with how cringe this is, yes, I know. I know. It's awful. I know. But it's how it's going to be. To be fixed later on if it's voted on. I think what I'm going to do is priorities for farming here are going to be set to 1. Basically, phase this I don't want to destroy it yet because we don't have like a reliable source of alternative food. But what I'm essentially saying is like, don't worry about that one. We'll spool it back up if our kcals go low. But that might be a while. Why is that still unreachable? Oh, we have to change the clearance. Got it. So just to recheck, I don't see any sequine here now. I don't see any sequine eggs. Just a bunch of oh no, there's one sequine egg. I'm going to create a box for eggs here. So I can force sweep them if I want to. Can you just flick that stupid checkpoint, guys? You will do it. Thank you. Alright. So now we can continue getting thimbleweeds. So there's 3 fibers there, 3 fibers there, 4 fibers here. So that's enough for 3 suits. And then there's even more fibers over here. So that's enough for all the swimsuits and all the suits that we need if we tap this carefully. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to tap it so that the polluted water doesn't go anywhere. Because our liquid lock keeps air from passing through it. It doesn't keep liquids from doing anything. And now the suit docks are getting oxygenated. So we have oxygen pumping in from our flue coral and filling up the docks, which is another way to solve overpressurization, right? A weird way, but like it works. And then the high pressure vent is in an overpressurized environment, so the regular vent would not have worked in this spot. So I'm glad I opted to make the big vent. The big vent. What's the temperature here? Okay, it's not going to kill them. That was my next concern. So it's pretty cold here, but it's temperate here. It's not like the mud zone where we're going to get like insta-cooked, which is good. I like my dupes alive. Surprisingly. Contrary to popular belief. Well, our morale should be like, yeah, it's stupidly high. 3, 4. Okay. I'm not worried about that. Really at all. It does remind me, there's one other thing that we could benefit from, which is communal dining. Where is the communal dining? There it is. Communal table. Let's research that one too. So the communal table gives 3 duplicants a place to eat, and it allows you to like share a meal, which is nicer than a mess hall. And that's just like a tiny side task that I'm going to be working on. So the 2 suit docks, I think let's get one more dock. Here we go. I'm going to want to sweep this stuff up high because it is, we don't want debris in our dining room because it's ugly. I'll wait for this thing to be built. And I'm going to add that to the task. Make exosuits, set up top dock. And calm dining. We're getting pretty close. Once the calm dining's set up, I'll raise the priority for fetching the reeds. Is there space? Yeah, there's still space in storage bins. Good. And sequine eggs now have a space to be, so that we can crack them or kill them. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Just get rid of them so that we protect our pearls. I'm also going to raise the pearl fetching. The pearl clutching. Let's call it pearl clutching. Raise the pearl clutching priority to a 9. Because it's my only source of glassy, and I want pearls. I want to amass a whole bunch of them if I can help it. Okay, guess we're getting barbecue. And we'll barbecue in here. Okay, the first 2 suit docks are filled with oxygen, and now just the third one's getting filled. As far as breathability goes, there is a localized pocket of low breathing here, but like generally speaking, it has only really helped with the overpressurization that we were getting from all of the tapped flue corals. So, yeah, we don't have any oxygen problems. Now, there is a high pressure pocket here from this flue coral, which we could tap at some point. Another one here. So if we ever have like a low breathing kind of emergency, I have stockpiled algae. And then we could also pop this bubble and pop this bubble and pop that bubble. How is this not pressurized? Oh, because there's no beacon there. But yeah, there's a lot of extra oxygen to tap if we need. So oxygen is actually included, guys. Surprisingly. You love the little cooking animation? I love all the animations. They're all just really well done. I'm going to set all of the salt sticks to 1 for a bit, so that RCV can work on other things. And home luxuries just got done. So that unlocks the clothing refashionator, upgrading our snazzy clothing, but we wear swimsuits, so no one's snazzy. Comfy beds, if we had plastics, we don't. And then the communal table, which is larger, which is why I knocked out this wall and worked to expand it. I'm just going to I'm going to set up that table once we're not heading towards downtime, so I'll set it up tomorrow, because I don't want to skip a meal. Not that, I mean, we could easily afford it mood-wise, but still. Oh, are you violent? No. I thought it laid an egg, but didn't. Also, who's eating clampum seeds? Oh, probably the Paku. That's fine. I don't really need the seeds so much as I need the pearls. But in the future, I should probably, like, hoover up the seeds to keep them safe from the Paku who would otherwise eat them. Oh. I didn't realize. I'm going to spend just a second. I'm going to pause the game, spend a quick second checking on alerts. So this is a saltwater geyser. I should probably do it in the day when I can actually see better. But check for any geysers. Would be smart. I don't think I see any new ones. There is some sort of facility up here, noted. It's going to be a little hard to uncover it without getting sloshed around by all the liquid due to the sand, unless I go up through the abyssalite. This was polluted water? What was this? Carbon dioxide? And then this one was hot polluted oxygen. Okay, that's all there is for now, I guess. So we're nearly there. And then the communal dining is ready to be set up. So here's the communal table. High priority. Now this only really has a benefit if people are dining at the same time, which is hard to ensure unless you have like time locked doors or something. And we're making it of gumwood, which is the only viable material. But there we go. There's the communal table. So when you dine here, one, the banquet hall, what is it missing? A displayed ornament? Okay. I won't have, a displayed ornament would be like, something on a pedestal. Which I don't think I have anything to put on a pedestal, but like I'll build a pedestal. I don't think I'm moving that needle right now. Let's display a something silly. A fungal spore. I don't know if this will work. I mean, great halls are fine. If I could make it a banquet hall for a +6, that's better than the +4. But something tells me sticking a fungal spore on a pedestal isn't really going to do me any justice. And then up here, we are very close to being done. Okay. God, where are they? I think they're all just like fetching fish. Which, that's another benefit of the suit dock, is like if you don't want them doing that, you can lock the dock and prevent them from doing stupid things like that. No, you're still delivering stone. The other thing is, granite is the material that I have readily available here. It would have made a lot more sense if this ladder was made of granite, because we could fetch the granite that's right here to build it. And I hadn't thought of that until now. So there's really no point now that the siltstone is already delivered. But for future projects, using the locally the resources that are locally available makes a lot more sense. Yeah, it's still just a great haul. I think the ornaments that are required for that would have to be an artifact or keepsake. There are some terrestrial artifacts I could find in the old facilities to dig up. So we'll see. So I'm just going to remove the spore. And clear it up. It's a great haul for now. Did anyone end up getting the communal eating morale? No, they didn't get a shared meal. They didn't overlap. Sometimes they'll overlap for shared meals, sometimes they won't. But, you know, it was the attempt that counts, I'd like to think. Alright, back to the top dock. And, Stinger's Playground, thank you for the raid. What were you playing? Oh, you're also playing Oni. Tell me about your run. For me right now, we are just trying to get our first exosuits made. So we're not that far in. As you can see, we're cycle 91, and I've kept it to a population of 3, so things go pretty slow. Ah, you like... yes, I do happen to play a lot of RimWorld, so I appreciate you sending you and your own here. Oh, my granite got buried. I was like, I just had a whole bunch of granite. But yeah, okay, it got buried. Avalka's going to be suffering some stress as a result of being cold and, like, having hydrogen gas blast her eyes. It's just how it be. Alright, so now that I have access to that granite again, I can make a ladder of locally sourced materials. We don't need a deep ladder, just one deep enough to get the thimble reeds. And then we want another ladder going up so that we can get to the other thimble reeds without like a major liquid spill. So I'm gonna something like that. This liquid is not pressurized. Liquid doesn't really, I mean, can't be pressurized all that easily. But this will give us 4 reeds and 4 reeds. Yes, so 8 reeds total, which is plenty for the 3 suits and 1 swimwear we want. Trying to give away 2 sets of pips and hatch plushies. Ah, nice. Would it force them to share a meal if they had a bathroom break just before? So as far as schedules go, yeah, we could like force a bath time like right before it. We'll try it. Maybe just a 1 hour bath time. See if it nudges the needle in my favor. I'm not, the reason why I don't really care is like morale is, I guess Avalka's morale is a little low, but most morale, we really haven't had stress like at all. Just like the occasional like slipping on something slippery. So it's been such a non-issue that's why I'm not trying to like min-max their morale or anything like that. You remember when I didn't have a face cam? Yeah, or when I looked younger. I mean, I sound terrible, but that's just because I'm sick right now. But yeah, I remember when I wasn't an old man shaking his fist at the internet. These guys aren't cramped, but there's a lot of beacon eggs here. Although, with that said, the age of these beacons is 23 and 22 out of 25. So, like, I don't feel the need to hoover up those eggs, because, like, they're just going to replace the dead beacons. I might even have a gap in coverage, and we'll have to wrangle some. Printables! Oh, speaking of swimwear and pip eggs, cooking, supplying, farming, who doesn't do medicine? Yeah? You know what? We're gonna get a new person. Finally. Who would have seen that coming? Now we have another problem. We have a communal table, and it doesn't seat enough people. But with that said, raffle timer up for Joshua. So I am going to nuke the cots. Joshua, let's do your work priorities. So you're going to be our cook, which means I'm going to need to scramble RCV's brain. And what were you? You were cooking, supplying, farming. So you know what? You're really going to be supplying. You can farm, but I really want you supplying and storing. You're basically our gopher guy. So our K-Cows, we have 117 K-Cows. We're good. We've got a mega cow. Or something, I don't know. But what I want to do... Wait, didn't I just tell you to just... What is going on? It's missing its deconstruct this icon. That's hella weird. And Loris, thank you for the sub. Oh, and a hydrate. Cheers. So we are going to need more rubber boots. I don't necessarily need a fourth suit dock. Hang on, guys. Y'all idiots decided not to actually finish this, so... I mean, maybe I'm the idiot, but... Let's actually make cots for everyone before they go to sleep. So I'm going to keep them up with the toggle alert so that we can finish their beds. Thank you for tuning in to Oxygen Not Included Aquatic, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. I'm not, however, looking for feedback. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow dupes.